Yo, welcome to an episode of EmpireJeffTV. I'm your host, Empire Jeff, coming to you on a Monday afternoon / early evening live from Los Angeles, California. Hope everyone is doing well. It's been a while, man. It has been a while. Had some time today prior to the Dodger game. Got some Monday Night Football going on here. So hope everyone's doing well. Happy to be here with you guys and spend some time and talk some Dodger baseball ahead of this pivotal, huge series between the Los Angeles Dodgers and Philadelphia Phillies at Dodger Stadium tonight. Now, every series, don't get it twisted, it's going to be dramatic for the final 12 games or so, whatever it is, how many games are left. I think it's 12. Every series is going to be dramatic. Every series is going to be the most important series. Right now, it was Philly. Last week, it was last week, over the weekend, it was the Giants. Got the Giants again after the Phillies. So every series that the Dodgers play for the remainder of this season is going to be the most important series of the season. So right now, the reason why the Philly one probably still will reign as the most important one is because they're directly facing off against the team that they are trailing in the National League standing. So I believe the Dodgers right now, 4.5 games behind them, 4 games behind them in the loss column. They would have to sweep them just to hope to get within a game and a half of them, and then hope that the wheels fall off of Philly after that, and the Dodgers can kind of creep up in the final games after that. But very tall task, not going to be easy, borderline unrealistic, but possible mathematically. They obviously, I don't believe, have any shot whatsoever at the number 1 seed. That pretty much went away as soon as they got swept by Pittsburgh and then had trouble against Baltimore. They pretty much ended their chances at a number 1 overall seed in the NL with that. But they still have a chance mathematically and technically for the number 2 seed and catching and maybe surpassing Philly like they did last year towards the end of the season. So it's going to take a lot. Going to take a lot, and I don't know if the Dodgers are going to be able to complete it and pull it off because they don't have any more days off. So it's going to be tough out there, and the pitching's going to have to be perfect like it's pretty much been of late. The bats are going to have to continue to stay hot outside that little nap that they took against the Giants in game 1. But aside from that, it feels like in game 3 in that Baltimore series, the bats woke up, they kept going, and Verlander just shoved against him. He was dominant that game 1 in San Francisco, and they got a lucky grand slam and they won the game. But the Dodgers should have won that game. They should have swept that series. They should be coming into this series on a 7-game win streak, having won 2 series in a row. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. They didn't. So it's a mute, and we're here now. So only thing they can do, the only thing they can control is what they do here against Philly right here, right now. And it kicks off with game 1 in when we all thought Emmett Sheehan was going to start. That's what it was looking like. I did a video earlier talking about Emmett Sheehan, and then the Dodgers kind of pulled the rug out and decided to go with Banda to start the game, probably to send those lefties up against Schwarber and Bryce Harper out the gate, and then we'll see Sheehan after that. And, the remainder of the bullpen behind Sheehan if he gets into trouble or goes late into the game. So the Dodgers need to get out to a great start in this series. And, look, I like their chances. Philly's a good team. They're a solid team. I think the Dodgers are still better than them. I still think the Dodgers are the best team in Major League Baseball when healthy. I still think they are. And as they continue to get guys back, as they continue to get their arms in this rotation that have become dominant, like I said, if the bullpen can halfway get their act together and the bats stay half as hard as what they've been right now, I really like what the Dodgers can do going down the stretch. So they got their guys back. You've got Muncy back. You've got Edman back. You had Will Smith going back on the IL. To bring up another catcher there. The catcher situation is a hot mess right now, but a lot of other things have kind of turned a corner. Teo was woken up. Mookie's been all the way back. Michael Conforto had a very good series against the Giants, and he has been playing well of late. Is that something we can count on? Probably not. But if it is, it's welcome. Same as Tanner Scott. Like I said, they're going to be out there. They're going to be used. So I'm not going to be foolish and get up there and root against them simply because I don't want them out there. They're going to put them out there, and we've got to root for them, and we've got to hope that they do well because we need them to win baseball games. I still do, as crazy as it sounds, I still believe in Tanner Scott. Michael Conforto, I haven't really believed in since the first quarter of the season. But he's out there. He's going to play. He's been playing well of late, and I hope that continues, but we will have to wait and see how that goes. But if he's out there and he plays, and, with Edman back, it does make some situational changes here. It makes you start to think about, okay, what do you do here? With these guys out there. So we'll wait and we will see on that. Do you put Paz in right? Do you put Teo back to left? Do you put Paz in left? Keep Teo in right, Edman in center. Like, we'll see what the Dodgers are going to do when it gets closer to the playoffs and when they enter the playoffs. But speaking of the playoffs, we're starting to see a little bit of early Dodger playoff baseball strategy, going with Banda to open the game today against the Phillies. I think we will see this for the remainder of the season, potentially in spots. And I think that we will see this in the playoffs as well. I'm not saying bullpen game. I think those days are gone, except for the fact they have to do a hard reset or someone gets hurt. But I think getting a solid reliever in there as an opener to go against, top, left heavy, right heavy, whatever it is, to go and get out there and try to get a jump on them. And they make it so Sheehan only has to face that lineup twice, turnover twice perhaps, and go later in the game. I think that's something that the Dodgers see as beneficial. I understand the strategy. Now we've got to wait and see how that works, how that plays out. If Banda goes out there and gets rocked, obviously they're going to get held for it. If Banda goes 1, 2, 3, shuts them down, Sheehan comes in the next inning, they're going to get praised for it. It is what it is. That's how it is. Dodger fans, man. Dodger fans have been very, very tearful lately, very whiny. Giving up on guys and such way too often. And baseball is baseball. You can have stretches where you don't play well. You're going to have stretches where you play great. You can have a stretch of the season where you play like trash for 2 months and still win a World Series. So that's baseball. I've seen it a ton of times before, and I'm hoping we see it again this year where the Dodgers have been trash since July 1st and then go on to win a World Series. This is my hope, and this is all of our hopes. But hopes don't do anything, right? Hopes don't do anything. They have to do it on the field. They have to play well on the field. They have to deliver these victories. They have to beat Philly. They have to beat the Giants. They have to beat Arizona, and they have to beat Seattle consistently. You got to win 85 to 90% of your games down the stretch here to put the league on notice that the Los Angeles Dodgers are back, and they are back for business. They are back in business, and they mean business, and they got to get out there and look to put fear back into the hearts and minds of these other Major League Baseball ball clubs, and that starts today against Philly. Now, if the Dodgers get out there and get rocked today, then it's all bad. It's all bad. You have to put a dent in Philly here. Philly has given the Dodgers problems, to say the least. In the last handful of years, they've been a thorn in their side. There are a lot of ways that Philly is almost the team the Dodgers probably should avoid. They seem to be the team that has had their number for a long time. I understand Milwaukee has had the Dodgers number this year. They swept them twice, so it sounds crazy to say that I'm not too worried about Milwaukee if we face them, but I'm really not. I'm not really worried about the Padres if we face them. I'm not. The two teams in the National League that have given the Dodgers a real run for their money and has been a real struggle have been the Phillies and the Cubs. Those are the two teams that I think the Dodgers would benefit from not facing, to be honest with you, but we'll wait and see. So starts today. If they go and they sweep the Phillies here, they win this series 2-1, that can change the change of thought. I don't think you duck. I don't think you run. I don't think you hide from anyone. But if you're sitting here and you're trying to go to the path of, which is the Dodgers' best path to a World Series, Cubs and Phillies would be a rough one, for them to go through. So, the Mets, the Giants, as of right now, would be one of the two teams. Arizona's right on the heels of them too. Here they come, right on the heels of the team that could potentially face the Dodgers in the first round if they are able to catch the Mets in the wild card. I said before the season, during the first few weeks of the season, before they went on a little bit of a run, I had said that I could see the Mets missing the playoffs. I said that numerous times to start the season. I felt that although they got Juan Soto and on paper they had the superstar that they thought they got, I didn't necessarily think that it made the team very much better. And I felt the team took a step backwards. I also felt that they were going to be relying heavily on guys who played above their heads and went on a magical run last year. And can they duplicate that? Can they repeat that? I just didn't think that they could. They haven't. And here they are. So the Giants and the Diamondbacks, another thing that we said at the beginning of the season, you could look up and see 3 teams, 2 or 3 teams in the National League West in the playoffs. And that's why I said it was the best division in the league. And here we are as we're knocking on the door for the playoffs. And here come those 2 from the National League West making a run in the Giants and the Diamondbacks, with potential to sneak in one of them into the MLB playoffs, into the wild card series, and perhaps even against these Los Angeles Dodgers. And you could have an NL West fest in the playoffs. The Dodgers facing either the Giants or Diamondbacks potentially, along with maybe even the Padres. This could be very, very interesting, and it could be a very, very NL West dominant playoff atmosphere. We'll have to wait and see how that plays out. It's no guarantee that any other than the Dodgers and Padres get in. Those 2 will get in, but it'd be kind of crazy and be kind of cool if a third team from the NL West gets into the playoffs, because we've known all season it's been the best division in baseball. The Arizona Diamondbacks with all their injuries, the Giants selling at the deadline, right? The Dodgers with all their injuries, the Padres with an ownership fiasco and all their injuries. If you get 3 teams from the NL West in the National League playoffs, that just tells you all you need to know about this division, even with them being hurt and injured, just scratching and clawing and climbing their way into the playoffs, or knocking on the door to get into the playoffs. So shout out to the NL West, man. Phenomenal season for them. But tonight, if Banda goes out there, like I said, he goes 1, 2, 3. If he can somehow shut them down, if he can do some things that put some thoughts in Philly's minds, if Schwarber gets up there and claps a leadoff bomb, if Harper gets a bomb in the first inning, the Dodgers got to find a way to get out of that first inning unscathed, especially with the strategy that they've gone into, because you know how it is nowadays, man. Every hindsight is 20/20, and everyone's a critic, right? So what we don't need is Dodger fan tears by the second inning. We don't need that. We don't need that. So hopefully they can get out there, they can do their thing. Bandit can get off to a great start in the bottom of the first. They can go out there and do their thing as well. The Phillies are throwing nothing but lefties at the Dodgers this series. Nothing but lefty. A very steady diet of left-handed pitching. And the Dodgers, Shohei, Freddie, and these guys got to lead the way, and they've got to get up there, and they've got to go lefty on lefty. And if Shohei can send one out of here early on, send a message to this Philly team, because Philly has been playing ballistic baseball, man. They've been on fire. They've been great. And as good as the Dodgers have been playing, winning 6 of 7, they haven't really been able to put a dent into the deficit that they're trailing Philly, because Philly has been on an absolute roll. Former Dodger, 2-time World Series champion Walker Buehler signed with the Phillies, went in there on Friday night and went pitch perfect, pitch great. And as you know what it is, as you get towards October, you're getting into Bueller season, and Philly got Bueller, and he played well on Friday. We're not going to see him, at least not right now. It's not looking like we're going to see him in this series, but who knows? I don't think we'll see him, but that remains to be seen. That is a wild card, and not just the wild card series for the Phillies, but overall in the Major League Baseball playoffs. Because if they came up on something with Walker Bueller, with the loss of their ace in Wheeler, and if Walker Bueller can go out there and give them quality starts in playoff settings and atmospheres, which he's been known to do, then Philly, who took a big loss when they lost Wheeler, could potentially, maybe not skip a beat if Walker Bueller can get out there and look anything like he did for the Dodgers last year in a Philly uniform. So remains to be seen again. Tonight, game ones of a series, of a 3-game series and big series, are very, very important. Even though the Dodgers lost game 1 to the Giants and came back and won the next 2 with offensive explosions, and game 1 did not affect them really. I said after game 1, if the Dodgers go out and win game 2 and game 3, that no one would remember game 1. But you kind of remember because it could have been a sweep, right? So the Dodgers need to go out and get game 1 tonight. If they don't, is it the end of the world? No. If they win the series, still great, but I'm really, really hoping that the Dodgers can go out there and sneak a sweep over these guys, because it could change all of October for not just the Dodgers, but all of Major League Baseball. So appreciate you guys for tuning in. Once again, I'm Empire Jeff. This is EmpireJeffTV. Here talking with you guys prior to the Phillies and Dodgers 3-game set at Dodger Stadium. Tonight is Freddie Freeman World Series Championship ring night. Almost went tonight, but I got the Shohei ring. I got the Mookie ring. I would have loved to have got the Freddie ring, but by the time I got home, I wasn't going to be able to get back out to the stadium with some things I had to do. So not going tonight. Came close, but not going to go. So I'll be watching at home from the couch, like most of us who judge baseball. So let me know what you guys think. How do you think this series plays out? What do you think is the deciding factor in this series? Because when you look at the 2 ball clubs, there's some differences here, right? You look at Schwarber, you look at Bryce Harper, and you think the Phillies are this powerhouse home run squad. They're really not. They're not top tier home runs. They got a top tier home run guy, and they got Bryce Harper, but they're not a team that's top 5, 6, 7 in home runs. The Dodgers are. The Dodgers are number 2 in a lot of statistical categories behind the New York Yankees. But Phillies pitching obviously is better statistically for the season than the Dodgers pitching, because the Dodgers didn't have their staff for most of the season. But when you look at head-to-head over the last 2 weeks or so, the Dodgers are right there with the Phillies. And even though the Phillies have been on a tear, the Dodger arms have been pitching like the arms we expected to see this entire season, the last couple of weeks, as they got everybody back. But Philly has been phenomenal on the mound all season long. But the Dodgers offensively, in pretty much every single offensive statistical category, kind of has Philly cleared in all of those statistics. So playing at home, even though against good pitching, if the Dodgers can be true to who they have been for most of the season, they've had droughts, don't get me wrong. For all the talk of the Dodgers with runners left on base and the lack of offense and the bats, go look at the Dodgers numbers all season offensively, man. Go look at them. Go look at them. They're right up there. They're right up there. So there's had moments. They've had times where they've stalled. They've had times where they've annoyed us. But it's been happening all across Major League Baseball. And even with that, the Dodgers are still at the very top and best in their league when it comes to offense, second to only the New York Yankees, whose run differential is bananas. But they play in the American League a little different. So the Dodgers, even though they've caught a lot of flack for their lack of offense at times, offensively, they have been pretty phenomenal this season. So, like I said, definitely want to see how this plays out. So with Banda going, like I said, if this was a bullpen game, I'd be upset. I wouldn't really like that. But going with Banda as an opener and then bringing in Sheehan to get Banda to go through the top of the lineup and face Schwarber and Harper at lefty on lefty to start the game, and then potentially let Sheehan go deeper in the game without them seeing him more than 2 times. I don't necessarily dislike it. Has to work, though. If it doesn't work, they're going to get blamed. If it works, they're going to get praised. That's how it is. But this isn't something that I think is a terrible move. We'll wait and see what the result dictates. But I don't think this is any type of – I don't think this is a horrible move. I don't. But doesn't mean it can't go wrong. Doesn't mean it can't have horrible results. But I don't think this is necessarily a horrible move. But I understand the strategy. So, again, appreciate y'all for tuning in. Joe, what's going on, Joe Suff? He said 5:30 p.m. on a weekday. Yeah, I was home. So rare I'm home at this time. And if I am, it's rare that I can be home and do a show. I've not done a show for a while. I got the itch today. I'm like, to see, I haven't logged into my StreamYard in a while. Haven't been in my YouTube account other than on my phone to post some clips in a minute. So decided to pull up and see who else pulled up to talk baseball with me today. On that note, make sure to get all of your MLB, NBA, NFL gear and more. Make sure to use our Fanatic links to get special discounts, and your purchase also helps support the channel, whether it's your Dodger gear, your NFL gear, whatever it may be. Tap our link. We partner with the good people at Fanatics, and when you shop through them, they take care of us because we sent you that way. Great way to really help support the channel. Let's see. Ramar says, this is a huge series. I expect us to be at our most focus. I would hope so. But, you know, I have caution with this team because every time I think they've turned a corner, and every time I think they're about to do something special, and every time I think that they are back, and I'm like, oh, man, here come the Dodgers we've been waiting for. Here they come. Then they go out and get swept by Pittsburgh, or they lose 2 of 3 to Baltimore. Like, this team, every time we feel like they're back on track, they fall off track, which is why I've often said it's 2 steps forward, 2 steps back with this team. And I'm hoping that that's over now. And then that one hiccup against the Giants is going to happen. You're not going to win every series 3-0 or 4-0 or 2-0, whatever it is. You're not going to win every series. You're going to lose some games in series. I only care about winning series at this point, but winning series might not be enough for you right now when you're trailing Philly by 4.5. You're up by 2.5 on the Padres with the tiebreaker. If the Dodgers win today, they pick up a full half game on the Padres, who are not playing tonight. So a lot of things in play right now that could go very well for the Dodgers, because if they only win 2 of 3 from Philly, you only gain 1 game on them. You only get 1 game. You got to sweep them. So I'm hopeful that they can, and we're hopeful that they will. Joe says 13 games left. I don't remember what number I said, but 13. Yeah, that seems about right. Fastest regular season I can remember. That's what happens when you watch every game, Joseph. When you watch every single game, it goes by faster. It really does. And yeah, this was a fast year. It was a fast year. There was a whole lot going on. And the year, we were sitting here in February as pitchers and catchers reported, March for spring training, and here we are 6 months later. 6 months later, and it's about to get crazy. How do you say this? Padeo? I don't know. I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. I apologize. The umps cost us the win on Friday. They better be wearing their contract. Yeah, I mean, it happens though. That happens. You get good calls, you get bad calls. That's just the nature of baseball, unfortunately. The umps cause the glasses tonight. Go Dodgers. I'm wearing mine. So what's going on, Sean Holt? Absolutely on Tanner Scott. I still believe in Tanner Scott, man. Look, I don't know. To me, it's clearly between the ears, man. And I still believe in his stuff. I still think he's got it. I still think, there's times where he's tipping his pitches and he's got to clean that up. Stuff is still nasty. I talked about it at length too. Look, I understand that there's been a lot of games in a row. So just one game wasn't going to make a difference on Tanner Scott. But when you walk the bases loaded against the Giants, you really have nowhere to put the guy. You got to go after him. You got to throw strikes. The team knows that. If they guess right, it's gone. Talked about this at length. But you've had multiple in a row where he's blown them. He's blown the game. And he's not the sole reason that they blew it. He's not the sole reason that they blew the game. He's not the sole reason they lost the game. The Dodgers offense only scoring 1 on Verlander in their bullpen was atrocious. But when you're the last guy standing and you give it up and you give up the walk-off, no matter what happened prior in that game, they're going to blame you. And although the Dodger, I'm not a individual blame guy. I know a lot of people need to have someone to blame. Something had to go wrong. Who can we pin this on? I'm not that type of guy from the standpoint of every inning matters. I've never blamed Conforto really for a loss. He doesn't bat 27 times. Tanner Scott isn't facing or getting 27 outs. They were there at the end, and they'll wear it. But so many things went wrong in that game that led to that loss, and Tanner Scott was just the icing on the cake for the L. But having said that, he's got to figure it out and start to get it together. But I definitely still believe in him. What's going on, Craig? Appreciate you, brother. Drip Show. What's going on, Drip Show? He said EmpireJeffTV is back. We are back, man. We are back today. We'll see if I'm back tonight or tomorrow. Appreciate you. Make sure you have Drip Show on IG, man. Incredible, artwork and merch for you guys to get the best in the business. Dodgers will have to earn it this year. Yeah, for sure. You got to earn it every year, for sure. But they definitely have to earn these series down the stretch, for real. Let's see. Are Phillies playing well? The Phillies are playing, like I said, ballistic, playing phenomenal. Probably the best baseball of the season. So it's going to be very tough to sweep them. But the Dodgers can. They can. But will they? That remains to be seen. But yeah, they're absolutely playing well. Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. What's going on, man? He said a member for 12 months. It shows on the screen here. Appreciate you, brother. You can all become members to the channel, man. Tap that join button or the first link in the description. For less than the cost of lunch, you can become a member for an entire month here at EmpireJeffTV. Great way to help support the channel. We would appreciate it. Must sweep these guys. At least take 2 out of 3. Yeah, I still think if we don't sweep them, that we probably won't catch them, because, like I said, if you win the series and take 2 or 3, you only gain 1 game on them, and that's not probably going to be good enough. They need to sweep them. People talking to each other. Let me mind my business. Yeah, they have been raking for sure. Drip Show says hoping for the sweep. Me too. Let's see. Your brother goes for the Mets. Oh man, I forget the Mets, man. Ohtani hasn't had a breakout series like last year. I know Ohtani's getting a lot of. People are just, I don't know, man. People are really coming for him a lot. The guy's, 50 home runs. I mean, he's pitching this year. Like, I don't know what more anyone could want from him. The numbers are there. He's scoring an insane amount of runs. His RBIs are going to be down because he's batting leadoff, and the bottom of the lineup has been murky all year. I think Shohei's had a phenomenal season. He's going to strike out. That's what sluggers do. And a guy of his stature who's getting up there hitting that many bombs, he is going to strike out. It comes with the territory. Sluggers do 2 things. They slug and they strike out. And Ohtani does both of them. So he's been catching a lot of heat. Like I said, there's been a lot of fans just really turning on the team a lot this year. And it's just, I don't know. I don't get it. But you know what I mean? Like, Mookie's coming around. Teo's coming around. Edmonds back. There's a lot of things trending in the right direction right now, but they're going to have to keep it up. What's going on, Todd Church? Appreciate you, brother. He said my Phillies got it. I hope not. I hope not, for the Dodgers' sake, man. Our starting pitching will prevail. That's what we're all hoping for. That, I had said, I think about a week ago, that all this talk of the Dodgers offense, which has been, like I said, up there all season and as the best in baseball, especially in the National League, one of the best in baseball, but the best in the National League, is that it could be the pitching this season that is the one that gets us to another World Series and winning one. They helped us last year, but the bats, which we thought were going to be mega, have kind of slipped up a little bit this year from a standpoint of droughts. So now, if these arms can do it, we will see. Maddie says, an opener, Banda, the science project better work. Yeah, I don't necessarily think it's a science project. I don't hate the strategy. Like I said, if it doesn't work, they're going to come for them. They're going to catch heat for sure. But I understand it. It's not a bad strategy. If it doesn't work, like I said, if it does work, then so be it. But I don't hate the strategy. I don't hate it. Go Dodgers. Defense wins championships. I mean, in baseball, yeah, I mean, any sport, defense wins championships, but in baseball, pitching wins championships, man. You got to have pitching. Good starting pitching, halfway decent bullpen, and timely hitting to win a World Series for sure. Bullpen is going to dictate the series again, I believe. Yeah, and again, that's a good observation too. The bullpens are very, very important. And the Dodgers had a chance at Duran, couldn't get him. Phillies have him. And, if the Phillies have the lead on the Dodgers, you send that guy out there. But the Dodgers put work against the best, quote unquote, bullpen in baseball in the Padres. So if they did work against the Padres, I think they can get to this Philly team. And it all starts tonight, man. It all starts tonight. And it's very, very important. This is going to be the biggest series of the season. And all the other series will be big. The fact that they're playing the team that they're directly chasing, this probably will be the biggest of the big. And hopefully they can sweep them. Hopefully they need to. Because if they don't, like I said, they only gain 1 game if they win 2 or 3. So it's not where we want to be at the end of this series. It's not like I'm going to frown on a series win. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to frown on a series win against the Phillies. I'm not going to do that. But if our hope is to get within striking distance of them in the standings, they have to sweep them. And the second they lose one game to them in this series, I think that could pretty much put to rest their chances at a number 2 seed. Maybe I'm wrong, but I believe they have to sweep this team in order for them to have a chance at the number 2 seed. So let me know what you guys think of that. That's just my opinion. It's going to be very, very tough to catch the Phillies coming out of the series still down 3.5. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. So we'll have to wait and see on that. But the pitchers, so we got Banda opening, we got Sheehan, we got Ohtani tomorrow, and then we got Blake Snell on Wednesday. So the Dodgers are going to be facing nothing but lefties starters from the Phillies perspective. So it's all about, can our lefties hit their lefties? Can the, which bullpen steps up more here? Which stars outstar the other? Which starters outstar the others? And I like the Dodgers' chances. I do. I like the Dodgers' chances. And if the Dodgers can sweep the Padres as hot as they were coming in, then I truly believe that the Dodgers can sweep the Phillies. It's not a matter of can, it's a matter of will they. And that's what we're going to have to wait and see. That's what is yet to be determined. And we're in for 3 games of very, very intense baseball. Very, very important baseball. And this is the time of season where it starts to crank it up and it goes to the next level. Like Joe said, 13 games left in the season. The season flew by. And, I want to ask you guys too, because this is been weighing on my mind. And as I've been thinking baseball, and the more and more I think about it, as dangerous as this may sound, as crazy as it may sound, as reckless, borderline reckless as this may sound, part of me is kind of not rooting against the wild card round. Part of me doesn't really mind a home series, no travel. If you win the first 2 games, you got like a 3-day break. So whoever did game 1 and game 2, you can kind of adjust that. Got to win both the first 2 games. But even if it goes to a quote unquote game 3, winner take all game, it's still at home. All 3 games would be at home. And you would be playing. You wouldn't get rusty. Like the Dodgers went through so many years where they won over 100 games and were the best record in baseball and going to the NLDS after a week off, 7 to 10 days off, and then days off between games, and then just couldn't get right, couldn't get their flow going. The consistency was gone, and the team coming in had the advantage because they were ready to play. Part of me is not looking at the wild card as a disaster anymore. That's just me. Maybe, like I said, maybe that's reckless. Maybe I'm wrong. But part of me is not looking at the wild card and fearing it. I'm just not. I think there's a world in a baseball world where I think the Dodgers might be able to take advantage of that format and go into the playoffs as the hunters versus the hunted. So let's think about that. I think I'm coming around to it. I think I'm warming up to it. I'm not saying that they should not win games trying to target the wild card. That would be stupid and crazy. But what I'm saying is if they win 2 of 3 against the Phillies and they play well down the stretch and they simply just don't get the number 2 seed, but they're playing well, I do not mind a wild card series. Maybe I'm the minority there. Maybe I'm stupid. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't mind it though. Let's see. Should we go out and try to maybe re-sign a free agent catcher? Well, are you talking about right now? I'm assuming you're meaning right now. I don't know. I don't know how serious, the injury is going to be to Will. I don't know. Dalton's playing in the minors. Maybe he'll be back. I don't know. Watch him go and bring like Austin Barnes back for like a couple of games. The team would lose. The fans would lose their mind. But I think it's something that they've considered. I think it's something they should have considered, and it might have been something that they maybe should have done or maybe still will do. I don't know. But Dalton's around the corner, and Will, they're going to need him come playoff time, and they're going to miss him in this stretch right now too. Drip Show says wild card would be a warm up for sure. Sean says Grandal maybe. I mean, the dude has some pop compared to what we have out there right now. Yeah. I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you. Like I said, I'm sure they thought about it. I'm sure they've weighed the pros and the cons. I don't know as to what the reasoning was. But we'll see. Robinson is playing tonight, and we'll see how that goes. Rortvet has come in, and while batting sub 200, every time I look up, he's on base or he's doing something. And you look at the numbers, they don't tell you that. But he's contributed to winning, which is wild. It's wild, right? So we'll see how this transpires tonight. So at this point, we're gonna miss Will's bat. If these guys behind the plate can throw guys out, can protect the baseball from going to the backstop, if they can do their job defensively, then I think we'll be okay. But if they're not going to be able to do their job defensively and they can't get on base and they can't hit, I think that's where it's going to potentially become worrisome. But we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to ride that out. And Grandal's an interesting name. He's been here before. He's played with the Dodgers before for a good stretch. Veteran catcher. Like you said, he does have pop, switch hitter. It's a name that's out there, but he wouldn't be able to play in the he would not be able to play in the playoffs. But maybe as a guy who can help them finish the season, I wouldn't be opposed to it. I just don't know if that's part of their thinking. I don't know if that's something they're considering. But I'm sure they've discussed it. But I don't know if it's something they're actually thinking about doing. So we will have to wait and see. And on that note, I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down. I appreciate you guys. I'm gonna get ready to watch this game. I'm gonna watch some NFL, some MLB TV, and then maybe I'll pull up after the game. I'm not quite sure, but in the meantime, make sure to follow me on all the socials at EmpireJeffTV on IG, on TikTok, on Twitter, X, here on YouTube, on Twitch, Facebook, everywhere. To see the clips. I don't get to go live as much as I would like. I don't get to do the long form as much as I would like anymore. At least right now, and I'll get back to it probably during NBA season and the MLB playoffs. But I appreciate those who've been tuning in on the clips and those who do show up when I do have time to do the lives. My schedule is a hot mess. Got a lot going on career-wise, so I apologize for the absence, but I'm still giving you guys content, so make sure to support. Drop a like on the video on the way out if you have not done so already. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Big series coming up. So as always, let's go Dodgers. Enjoy the rest of your night. Enjoy this series, and hopefully the Dodgers can get this sweep. I'm out of here, you guys. Have a good one. Peace.